Trading is one of the purest environments for observing dopamine at work. Markets are uncertainty machines, and dopamine thrives on uncertainty, anticipation, novelty, and possibility. This is why trading can become psychologically consuming even when it is financially painful. Many traders believe they are addicted to profits, but in reality, they are often addicted to possibility. The next setup, the next breakout, the next reversal, the next big trade that can validate their intelligence, discipline, or identity. The market is essentially a dopamine delivery system disguised as a financial instrument. Every candle creates anticipation, every open position contains future potential. Every fair value gap, liquidity sweep, or OTE setup carries the promise of becoming something greater. Dopamine is not strongest when you win, it is strongest before resolution, when the outcome is uncertain. And that explains why many traders feel more emotionally alive during a trade than after closing it. The imagination of profit often produces more stimulation than the profit itself. And this creates a paradox. Traders frequently enjoy trading more than actually making money. A trader may fantasize about financial freedom, but once a target is hit, satisfaction fades rapidly. The nervous system adapts. $500 day becomes normal. Then $2,000 becomes insufficient. Then six figures feels average. Dopamine constantly moves the finish line. And in trading, this becomes especially dangerous because markets offer infinite opportunities to continue chasing. Unlike traditional careers, where effort and reward are delayed, markets provide instant emotional feedback. The problem is that dopamine confuses activity with progress. A trader can feel productive while actually self-sabotaging. Chart hopping, over-analysis, revenge trading, and excessive backtesting can all produce the sensation of engagement without genuine edge development. And this is similar to a person rocking in a chair thinking they are traveling somewhere. Motion exists, but they're not heading anywhere. Another way to think about this is to imagine two traders. Trader A trades to extract money from the market. Trader B trades to extract emotional stimulation from uncertainty. Trader A survives. Trader B eventually implodes. And the second trader may not consciously realize what they're doing. They believe they want consistency, but subconsciously they crave intensity. Calm execution feels emotionally empty to them because their nervous system has become conditioned to volatility and adrenaline. This is why many traders destroy themselves after periods of disciplined success. Stability feels psychologically boring. There is an important analogy here. Dopamine-driven traders are kind of like surfers who slowly stop caring about surfing waves. They start chasing storms, and normal conditions no longer stimulate them. They need increasingly violent emotional weather to feel engaged. The account balance becomes secondary to the psychological high of participation. And this also explains why many traders struggle with overtrading after wins instead of after losses. A big win massively stimulates dopamine. Brain interprets the event not as completion, but as evidence that more reward may be available nearby. Winning can therefore increase impulsivity. Casinos understand this deeply. Near misses and intermittent rewards create stronger behavioral conditioning than consistent outcomes. Trading systems exploit this neurologically. Markets operate on variable reward schedules, the same mechanism behind slot machine addiction. You never know which setup will deliver the outsized move. Because the reward is unpredictable, the brain remains hyper engaged. this unpredictability magnifies dopamine release. The dangerous part is that dopamine prioritizes future possibility over present reality. A trader in drawdown often becomes obsessed with making it back. Notice the mental framing here. So attention moves away from objective execution and towards imagined future restoration. The trader is no longer interacting with the current market, they are interacting with a fantasy version of the future where emotional pain disappears. And this creates distorted risk taking. In this sense, many trading mistakes are actually time distortions. Fear pulls the trader into the future. What if I lose? Whereas greed pulls the trader further into the future. What if this runs another 100 points? Regret pulls the trader into the past. I should have held. But high level execution only exists in the present. Elite traders are often psychologically boring people while trading. They do not require emotional fireworks because they derive satisfaction from process rather than uncertainty stimulation. And so the best traders learn to anchor themselves in present moment execution rather than future fantasy. An original analogy for this is comparing amateur and professional snipers. Amateur sniper thinks about the target, a professional sniper thinks about the breathing, the positioning, the trigger pressure, right? The amateur is attached to the outcome, whereas the professional, he is only concerned about the process. So trading works the same way. Dopamine obsesses over P&L because P&L represents future transformation, wealth, status, freedom, validation from friends and family. But process-oriented execution suppresses excessive dopamine involvement by narrowing attention to controllable variables, risk management, entry criteria, liquidity context. That's a big one. And emotional regulation. This is why mechanical routines matter so much in trading psychology. Journaling, predefined risk, fixed routines, and checklists are not merely organizational tools, they are neurological stabilizers. They reduce the brain's need to continuously seek novelty. And without structure, traders become hunters wandering through an infinite forest. And every moving leaf appears meaningful, every candle feels actionable. Dopamine amplifies pattern recognition to dangerous levels, causing traders to see setups that do not exist. And to those of you who trade ICT, concepts like liquidity, fair value gaps, OTE entries, they can become either precision frameworks or dopamine traps. A disciplined trader uses them to create selective execution. A dopamine-driven trader uses them to justify. A disciplined trader uses them to create selective execution. A dopamine-driven trader uses them to justify constant anticipation. They become addicted to the idea that the next candle may unlock transformation. The distinction is subtle but critical. One trader waits for confirmation, the other trader hunts emotional activation. Over time, markets expose which one you are. So another important insight is that dopamine creates identity attachment. Traders often become addicted not only to winning, but to the self-image of being a trader. The fantasy identity becomes more rewarding than consistent profitability, and this explains why some traders resist simplification. A simple, profitable system feels less intellectually stimulating than complex analysis. Complexity feeds dopamine because it creates endless possibility. In many cases, traders do not fail from lack of knowledge, they fail because their nervous system is incompatible with repetition. So consistency is neurologically understimulating, right? That's why people say consistency is boring, and the market rewards emotional stability, but dopamine seeks emotional expansion. So this is the fundamental conflict. The trader must train themselves to find satisfaction in disciplined repetition rather than the dramatic outcomes. So a useful analogy is farming versus hunting. Dopamine wants trading to feel like hunting. Constant pursuit, action, 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 uncertainty, adrenaline. Professional trading behaves more like farming, planting seeds, managing risk, waiting patiently, accepting seasons, the highs and the lows of your account balance. So hunters experience excitement, farmers build wealth. Ultimately, the deepest lesson from the molecule of more for traders is this. So ultimately, it comes down to this. The market will amplify whatever psychological system dominates you. If dopamine dominates, the market becomes a casino of fantasy, stimulation, and emotional volatility. If presence dominates, the market becomes a probabilistic environment where disciplined execution compounds over time. The trader's greatest edge is therefore not prediction, it's the ability to remain psychologically present while operating inside uncertainty. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.